So in solidarity, I got my head shaved at the same time. I don't think there's any possible way I could get in the shape Rain got in. I'd like to think I could, but I'm not 25 years old.
I am 25 and I could not get in the shape Rain's in,
Right.
so let's not. Thanks for making me feel terrible there.
Yeah.
Last night during the Q&A, you actually said something very interesting. You said that studios are kind of up for anything now, right now, and it got me wondering. Do you think that that's stems from a desire to give more creative freedom, or do you think it's because they don't know exactly what audiences want anymore?
You know, the film industry is like such an interesting. It's such an interesting thing that you don't know really what works. I mean, obviously, if you have a Pixar kids movie, you know that'll make money. You know, if you have a Disney movie, that'll make money. If you're doing Pirates of the Caribbean 4 or Batman 3, whatever it is, once you've established a franchise and it knows what it's doing, then they will just keep repeating that over and over again. And I don't think it's so much that the studios want to give you creativity. It's more that to make a film is a very expensive exercise, and they want to get a return on their money. And I think that like the superhero genre has been, it's like great, but it's like starting to exhaust itself. Obviously, there's like, and so they're looking for the next thing, in the way that I'm looking for the next thing, or you're looking for the next thing, because like at some point you get to a saturation level and you want to move on to something new. I mean, I think that's like just human nature. And yeah, I think they don't know what the next kind of like subculture is. I mean, there's a lot of people out there trying to find it. There's a lot of people who have got their fingers on the pulse of stuff, but yeah, I think they want to make money. If they're going to invest in a film, they're going to make money, but they're going to listen to you also say, hey, I think this could work. And I think that's what they did with the Ninja movie.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking for a franchise here, or are you just content for one movie and move on?
I don't know. I mean, would it be cool to do a sequel? Yeah, I'd like to do that. I think there's lots
There's more blood to be spilled.
There's more blood to be spilled, yeah. I think you could have a lot of fun, actually, with another one, but am I personally looking for a franchise? I think that's like so premeditated when you do that you're almost like cursing yourself by saying, like you come out and you don't talk about your film, you talk about like the next franchise, So no, I'd like to do a sequel, but I'm not looking for
Now, one of my favorite movies of all time is Seven, and last night you threw out this holier than holy word to me, and it's a project called The Raven, and you said that it was a blend of Edgar Allan Poe stories and Seven.
Yeah.
Please continue on with the excitement of that concept.
Right.
Can you explain just a little bit about what you're going for there?
Yeah, I think like the story itself lends itself stylistically to that high concept thing that I threw out last night, and I too love Seven. I love Edgar Allan Poe. I love those stories. I mean, they're like so in the vernacular of American society, I guess. Like everybody knows Poe.
And this is a scenario where you have a serial killer that's using Poe's stories as a motive or a catalyst for how he's going to do his killings, and taunting Edgar Allan Poe personally, correct?
Correct. And, so Poe gets involved with a detective, and together they have to try and catch the killer.
So like a buddy cop in...
Yeah, like a buddy cop movie, yeah. No, it's a little darker than that. The script is, it's a great script. It's really well written. The economy of it is, fantastic. And, yeah, I think it'll be a really cool film. I'm really excited to do it. I think... yeah, it's good. I've just been scouting locations in Europe, so hopefully getting started early next year.
So Baltimore, Maryland, by way of Europe?
Yeah, I think that, I'd dearly love to obviously shoot it in Baltimore, but Poe's world, 1850s Baltimore, does not exist in Baltimore.
It's more like The Wire now.
Yeah, that's right.
The production could be mugged at
yeah,
any time.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, it's more like The Wire, and so... If you get into doing research with a bit of augmentation in the production design, I can probably, do it in Europe. I looked at a bunch of other places here. New Orleans I considered for a while. So, yeah, I'm excited to do it.
And I heard you already cast someone as Edgar Allan Poe. Is that true?
In the process thereof.
You're still in the process?
Yeah.
What are you looking for in someone to play that character?
Well, I think, Poe was such a reprobate, I mean, he's like, even though this is a fictionalized account of his last 5 days, he was such a character, he was an orphan, and, he was continually broke, but he had this, like, obviously fantastic poetic style that he, brought to all his writing, and, that slightly macabre that exists in his stories. And, I guess, like, I'd like to be Poe, and it's apparent in the script, a fantastic mixture of all those things. Mm-hmm. And so I'd like the actor who plays Poe to bring that.
And have just a slightly bigger forehead than average.
Yeah, I mean, like, those, yeah, you've obviously seen the photos of Poe. He's a pretty strange looking character. I think that's probably more 1850s malnutrition in him, and him being broke than anything else, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, I know a bit about your background just as an assistant director and doing effects and all that sort of thing, especially with Matrix. Did you go to film school for direction at all?
Yeah, I did. I went to university, had a film major in it, and I did that. And then in the last year there, I had a professor who basically became a mentor, and then he went off to do a film, and I went off to do a film with him, and sort of started there. Started as an assistant director, and kind of ended up working on Matrix and Star Wars, and then got to direct V.
Yeah. And we kind of have a stock question for directors, since we are film school rejects.
Right.
Have you ever been rejected from film school at all? Did you get into this one and that was the only one? Or?
I did get into this one, and that was the only one I did.
You think in that case, since you're on the enemy side of this situation, do you think you can offer maybe one of the things you might have learned in film school that sort of translates now to what you're actually doing?
I think film school's kind of interesting from a theory point of view. I think I mean, you go there and it's great for like watching a lot of films, but like if you're already watching films anyway, you're doing that yourself. And I guess what you get to do is deconstruct films, which isn't like a bad thing. But I would say the best film school that you go to is the one that you do when you're standing on a set, and there's 150 people standing around, and you just get to learn what everyone's doing. I mean, I think like that's the best way of but that's the best film school you can go to. So if you're you probably are better getting rejected from film school, and going from there.
Well, I think those are wise words to end on. So I just want to thank you, James McTeague, director of Ninja Assassin. Thanks a lot for taking the time out of your day.
Oh, no problem. Thanks a lot. Pleasure talking to you.